Morning Patrol by bixgirl1. Summary. It's their routine on a morning patrol. Coffee and conversation. A Drarry fanfiction. Harry loves it when Draco complains. One jokes that it's possible for a build-up of spunk to obliviate someone as well as a spell. Harry blushes and tells him to shut off, but he can't deny that watching Draco bitch about various things is far less annoying now that he's realized he's in love with him. Less a build-up of one thing than more of another.
Potter, are you even paying attention? You think red washes you out in cold light and wish they'd let us pick our own uniform colors?
Harry finishes paying and passes him his espresso. Through some miracle of magic or lack of sleep, the ridiculously besotted smile that wants to break free remains hidden.
Woe is you. You're a little pasty when winter comes. I did not call myself pasty, you wanker. So I elaborated.
Harry knocks into Draco's shoulder with a small grin.
5 syllables, Potter. Using the teaching lab paper from Weezer's again?
Draco asks. But his sneer is half-hearted at best and disappears entirely after his first sip of caffeine. Harry snorts and shakes his head as they step into the cold. They walk through the slushy crunch of snow for a few seconds. It's their routine on a morning patrol, coffee and conversation. Side by side, arms brushing, robes charmed for warmth. Unnecessarily, really. Harry will never not be warm standing next to Draco, not ever again. Even the simple knowledge of what he once felt for him in comparison to what he feels now brings on a shiver of feet. Impossible can do that, he thinks. He notices Draco looking at him oddly and realizes he's been silent too long.
Hard for even me to not learn a thing or two partnered with a supercilious prat like you for 3 years running.
Draco stops.
Even you?
Harry shrugs, smiles.
You're the swotty one.
Draco's high, clear brow furrows. He brushes his hair back, revealing a glimpse of his widow's peak.
Surely you're not saying you're not smart, Harry?
Harry rubs the back of his neck uncomfortably.
Of course not. I'm smart enough. More than enough,
he says, studying Harry another moment before he resumes walking. Barely audible over the hush of the snow flurry around them, he adds,
Why else would they keep trying to promote you? Then again, you keep turning it down, so you're obviously not as smart as I assumed.
Harry's strides don't falter, but something inside his heart does.
How did you? I'm your partner, Draco says sourly. They keep sending me the files for potential new partners only to say that you've opted to stay in position.
His voice lightens, lilts.
Shame, too. Some of them were rather attractive,
he says, punctuating the word with a smirk.
Probably wouldn't mind working with them. Great plan, Malfoy,
Harry says, something poisonous rising swiftly in him. And his morning was going so well.
Sexually harass your partner, get thrown off the force. It's not like you've worked yourself to the bone to get on it or anything.
Draco's hand pauses his lengthening strides, swinging him around so they're face to face. The clouds of their breaths fuse, disappear. Draco's hand remains on his arm, deceptively strong.
If I can control myself around you for years on end, I don't think anyone else will be a problem,
he says evenly. Harry's heart throbs. The world narrows to crystalline fragments, the snow swirling around them, the puff of each lingering exhale, the icy tone of Draco's complexion highlighted by the stamp of red over his cheeks, the curvature of his slender lips. And then they are kissing in the middle of Diagon Alley, Draco's hand framing Harry's face, Harry's finger fisted tight in his snow-tufted hair. Draco's lips are cold, but his kiss scorches Harry through to his marrow. His belly quakes with it, his cock thickens painfully fast. Draco moans into his mouth, a sundering sound. Harry swallows it, barely aware of the soft cry of relief wrenching out of his own throat as Draco's tongue slips in to stroke against his. They break apart after who knows how long. Harry can barely draw a breath, or perhaps simply can't stop drawing them in. Oxygen seems to play some part in his dizziness, at least. The street is quiet. They stare at each other.
I didn't think you'd...
Harry doesn't know how to finish that. He falls silent. Draco swallows. The pink on his cheek has deepened, spread. His eyes have gone near black. His voice is dry and only slightly shaky when he says,
"That's because you're stupid. I've always said so."
Harry cracks a startled laugh. After another beat, they begin walking again.
"When we get back in, go to Kingsley's office and tell him you're ready to take the position." "Yes, sir. Soon I'll be calling you that,"
Draco says with a wicked slant to his grin. Harry catches himself before he trips. Again, and Draco's knuckles brush slow and deliberate against the back of his hand.
"I just haven't wanted to." "I know, me neither, but this is better," Draco says. Then musingly, "If you tell him we're involved, it might speed things up so we really can be." "We already are."
A sweep of happiness slows Harry's footfall for a second. When he glances over, Draco's eyes are soft.
"See? Smart." "You look fantastic in red," Harry blurts. "Fit as hell. It drives me mad when I go home at night."
Draco's laugh is embarrassed, pleased. A tiny crinkle twitches at the corner of his mouth.
"Shut up. This color makes me look pasty," he says. "You even said so." "I did not," Harry says, rolls his eyes, but he can't stop smiling. "I simply summed up what was going to be an hour-long rant so we could save time. You like it when I rant?"
The look he casts Harry is irrepressibly fond.
"Draco," he says, shaking his head. "I never pretended otherwise. I wouldn't dare."
The end. Thank you for listening to Morning Patrol by bixgirl1, read by Ella Mix Mabella. If you would like to stay up to date on upcoming chapters and stories, you can follow me on YouTube, AO3 or Spotify.